Stephen A. Smith finally responds. The back and forth between LeBron James and himself finally wants to put it to bed. I have the shocking details next, but we're going to unpack all that here next. Here, Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Well, guys, man, Stephen A. Smith has finally came out and responded to all the negative publicity he has been getting over this LeBron James situation. Now, everybody has had a chance to weigh in on this. Everybody has their takes. Everybody has had an issue with Stephen A. Smith for the lies that he's been telling amongst this feud between him and LeBron James. And a lot of his colleagues and contemporaries have put him on blast. And like I've stated, Stephen A. Smith, through this whole situation, he's been caught up in his web of lies. And a lot of people have come out and exposed Stephen A. Smith for the things that Stephen A. Smith has said throughout his career, where now videos are resurfacing on some of the things that Stephen A. Smith said as he worked his way up through the rankings. He made issues about certain things with LeBron James. He said him and LeBron James was cordial. He has nothing against LeBron James. But now that this feud has started and LeBron James went on the Pat McAfee show after LeBron James confronted Stephen A. Smith courtside at the Knicks and Lakers game at the Crypto.com arena. And Stephen A. Smith went on next day on ESPN First Take, did a 10-minute to 15-minute segment addressing the issue, where he stated that he didn't want to address the issue, but his producers was telling him, nah, can't let this go. You're going to have to make a statement. So what Stephen A. Smith did was he made a statement, and through his statement, that just made things get worse. So what happened? The Los Angeles Lakers took on the Indiana Pacers in Indiana. And we all know Pat McAfee's show is based off in Indiana. And LeBron James pulled up on the Pat McAfee show. And they had an hour conversation about different things. And LeBron James aired out a lot of things that we never thought LeBron James would air out. Over LeBron James' 22 years that he's been in the league, he's never really aired out grievances like that toward the media and responded to what the media says. We all know the things that Skip Bayless says about him, and LeBron James has risen above that. So now he goes on there and he addressed the Stephen A. Smith situation, talking about he's on the Taylor Swift World Tour, going on all these podcasts, poking his chest out, talking like he's big and bad. Then he comes out and said if LeBron James would have swung on him, LeBron James would have put his hands on him, he would have swung on LeBron James. But he did say he would have got his ass kicked. But the thing about it is, this ain't even the reason why this issue is going on. This is deeper than this. This has layers to it. And I've told you guys on many of these shows I've had produced about this situation, everybody wants to get caught up in the back and forth between him and LeBron. But there's an underlying message here. It's things that you got to see what Stephen A. Smith does, but it's caught up with him. He's caught up in his own web of lies. So on one hand, you say you have no problem with LeBron James. Now all of a sudden, you don't like him at all. But now we have the real reason why you don't like LeBron James. We have it all. And you told on yourself and you made it abundantly clear and you said it out your own mouth. This is the reason why you don't like LeBron James. And before we get off into that, right now, I'm at 15,917 subscribers, on my way to 16,000. If you're new to this channel and just now coming across any of these videos, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. And let's get us to 16,000 by Sunday. But let's get off into what Stephen A. Smith said, and he told on himself, he covering up more lies. And the only reason why he said he wants to put this to bed is because of what Carmelo Anthony and Dwayne Wade said on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn on Carmelo's podcast. But let's take a listen to what Stephen A. Smith said. And he said, this is the last time he's going to address this. And he said it's going to be a mic drop and he's going to put it to bed. So let's take a listen to what Stephen A. Smith said. Let's roll the tape.
We going to put this shit to bed. I want to thank Dwayne Wade and Carmelo Anthony for saying what they said. Some of the details were missed. Like, for example, he didn't see me, warm-ups because I didn't get there until a few minutes into the first quarter. But when you sit in courtside, they kind of know who's going to be there. And I'm quite sure he was alerted I was going to be there. But that's neither here nor there. D. Wade is told 1,000% truth when he said what he texted me and said to me, because we do have a relationship. I love that brother. That's my dog. And I feel the same way about Carmelo Anthony. We all go back years. And I love them both. So I really appreciate the conversation that they had. And I appreciate the perspective they both provided, because for the most part, it was pretty spot on. A couple of things that need to be noted. Like Melo said, it's been stewing for years. See, what I've gotten pissed about with this particular subject is that too many people are not touching on the truth. Melo and D. Wade did. Me and LeBron don't have a relationship.
That's the key right there.
LeBron don't mess with me and I don't mess with him. I respect the hell out of him. He's number 2 on the list all time. And I didn't always feel this way about him. There are times I didn't like how he treated black media. I'm not talking about myself because I'm on a certain level and I watched how others got treated and I didn't like that. But it didn't take away from his unquestionable greatness, his deified status that he has earned as one of the top 2 or 3 greatest players in the history of basketball. And I never deviate from that. I've always been kind to his family. I think his wife is the first lady of the NBA, class personified. I think his mom is an absolutely wonderful woman. I don't have to talk to Randy much. That's a good brother. Rich Paul and me are pretty damn cool. Rich is good people. So I'm cool with Mav as well. And various other people. But me and LeBron, we don't roll like that. High and by.
Now, you heard what Stephen A. Smith said. See, that's what I'm talking about, guys. If you see my previous videos, I've touched on this. That's the issue. Stephen A. Smith is pissed off because he don't have a relationship with LeBron James. And this is what Stephen A. Smith does. He always throws in all LeBron's accolades for what? Get to the point. The point is, you're upset and pissed off that you don't have access to LeBron James. You don't have a relationship. You made it abundantly clear because what you stated, you and D. Wade, I love that brother. We have a relationship. Carmelo, we have a relationship. We go way back. There's plenty of videos that Stephen A. Smith said, and he came out and talked about the relationship he had with Michael Jordan. He could text Michael Jordan back and forth. But Stephen A. Smith does not have a relationship with LeBron James, and that's the issue. See, Stephen A. Smith, the mogul that he is, he feels slighted that he don't have access to LeBron James. And now his true feelings are coming out because you make it seem like everything that you say about LeBron James in a good light is going to sway LeBron James to give you access to him. but then you turn around with the underhanded compliments that you do every time you start your soliloquy, and then you start breaking them down like a Black & Decker workbench. And then, like Mello said, the trigger was Bronny, and you knew how to push that trigger. But like Carmelo said in my previous video that I did, Mello said he would have stepped to you. D Wade said he would have stepped to you because now you're questioning LeBron as a father. But Bronny was the trigger for the last 22 years. And it just made it only right as a father to step to you man to man, which LeBron did. You had a problem with it. You thought it was a weak move, but you didn't say that the next day on First Take. You was humble. You could tell by your body language and the way that you were speaking that you had no problem with LeBron as a father doing that. But then you go on Gilbert Arenas' podcast, and then you started popping off with your chest out, talking about it was weak. Like Dan Patrick said, it'd have only been weak if LeBron would have tweeted you, but he stepped to you man to man. But that's what I was telling you guys about Stephen A. Smith. You got to watch. Everything that Stephen A. Smith has said through the course of his career in a situation like this, it's all coming back out. And now he's telling on himself. The real issue is, and people have stated and made it abundantly clear, is that he don't have a relationship with LeBron James. Stephen A. Smith thinks he needs to have a relationship with all the mega stars that are in the NBA. Y'all go back to 2011 when he talked all that stuff about Kevin Durant. Thought he had a relationship with Kevin Durant. Don't have a relationship with Kevin Durant either. Go back to when he was with the Philadelphia Inquirer, when he was covering Allen Iverson, when Allen Iverson came in the league in 1996. He had everybody fooled that he knew everything about Allen Iverson. But that came out to be a lie as well. Now Stephen A. Smith comes out and lets y'all know the real reason, the issue he has with LeBron James, is because he don't have a relationship with him. And he thinks that because he is a higher mogul in the media, that he should have a relationship with LeBron James. And LeBron James is not giving him access. I see everybody in the comment section, #salute. If you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. Oh yeah, just in case I forgot. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, Sap, and we're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.